You join me here at Volkswagen's headquarters because they invited me along to check out the new Touareg R to show you guys what sort of features you're getting and also check out the most powerful production Volkswagen ever made. So let's walk around what the Touareg R actually is. So under here we do have our petrol motor, but what you can't see is the electric motor and the batteries which are underneath the car. So this is a 3-litre single turbo petrol V6 and it combines its power with that electric motor and battery to produce a total power output of 340 kilowatts and 700 Newton meters of torque. Now that's actually less powerful than a Cayenne e-hybrid, which is similar to this, but it's actually got a lot more torque than that car. You're also getting matrix LED headlights, which are very advanced. They can do a lot more than just simply black out parts of the road to stop dazzling drivers because they have 19,200 pixels in here, which makes these extremely complicated, but also very cool because they can put projections on the road. You also get a light bar across the front and an R badge to let everyone know that you are driving the Touareg R. Now there's lots of blacked out accents here because this is meant to look more aggressive, but then the party piece along the side really is the 22-inch wheels. They're huge and they're housing some upgraded brakes with some blue brake calipers there. Now along the side you do have an R badge stamped on here to let everyone know that you are driving the Touareg R, which is a nice little subtle nod to people who know. Obviously get some blacked out mirror caps here, but then up top we are getting an option for these roof rails. Now if you do get the factory roof rails, they have some load sensors on there. So if you are going to load this up for a road trip, at least the car will do the thinking for you to let you know how much weight's up here and it will adjust the air suspension and the ride quality accordingly. Now this comes with soft closed doors at the front and also at the back. But here's the important part. This has 2 fuel filler caps, but one is for electricity. Now here's where things get a little bit different. You can see here, this is one of 2 fuel filler caps. The other one takes petrol, but this one takes electricity. You're gonna get a charging cable like this, and the fastest possible charge to charge up this 14 kilowatt hour battery will take around 2.5 hours from a 7.2 kilowatt wall box. But if you're gonna charge it from your household plug, it'll take a little over 8 hours. So that's good for an overnight charge. And that means if you wanna drive on pure electric power alone, you'll get around 51 kilometers of range. But you're probably gonna drive this as a hybrid, which will help reduce fuel consumption, but it also helps boost power output to make this super quick and obviously the most powerful Volkswagen ever made. Now at the back, we do have some more LED taillights, which look really quite nice. And of course, the party piece here, we do have an illuminated rear badge, which looks extremely ominous when it's all lit up in red like that. Now we do have an R badge here, but obviously everyone's gonna know this is a plug-in hybrid because it says e-hybrid here at the back. And then we have some dark tailpipes hidden a little bit down below, but they are very real exits, but they don't sound too aggressive, even though this is meant to be the most powerful Volkswagen production car ever, but they don't sound too bad either. Now, obviously you do have a power tailgate here at the back, and you do have a decent amount of boot space back here. Now, you do have air suspension, so you can lower this to get things in and out, or you can raise it to help with bringing things up if it's a bit awkward to get into the back. But you don't have any underfloor storage because that's being taken up by the electric motors and the batteries, which means that you're only gonna get a tire repair kit underneath there. Now in the back, you do get soft closed doors, you get a window blind here, lots of nice stitching and ambient lighting and materials, and you have a nice wide middle seat as well. The rear seats are heated on the outside, and you do have quad zone climate controls, meaning that all 4 seats on the outside of the car can control their own temperatures, but it sucks if you get the middle seat because you can't. And then what's cool is that the big glass roof above me, which is a panoramic sunroof, does extend over my head, and I have pretty good headroom as well, and I have decent amounts of feet room and knee room, so I'm very comfortable and get lots of light from above. But if you don't want that, there's a big window shade that shuts it all out. Now you do get soft closed doors up front, like I mentioned, lots of nice stitching. All the materials in here have been upgraded according to Volkswagen with the facelifted Touareg, but in here we're getting R-specific touches like these R seats, which are meant to be more supportive, and they've also got blue stitching, blue piping, and an R logo stitched in there as well. We have an R steering wheel, but we get some pretty normal looking paddles, but we get lots of ambient lighting up front. We get a 15-inch touchscreen here, and we get a 12-inch display in front, and we also get a very big heads-up display as well. Even more ambient lighting around the cup holders, but we get a pretty normal looking shifter, but it's nice and chunky, and we get controls down here for your ride height and all that, but you also do get additional drive modes because this is an R product. You do get a race mode. Now you are getting capacitive touch buttons around the steering wheel, which are a little bit controversial because Volkswagen could actually step back away from that, but here in the Touareg R, we are still getting them. There's an okay amount of storage here, but this is where you're going to find your 2 USB Type-C USB-C ports, and I do find it to be a very nice, comfortable interior, and I really do like the blue accents here for the R. Now, thank you so much for joining me on this first look at the Volkswagen Touareg R, the most powerful Volkswagen ever made. Now, if you want to see me drive it, you'll have to wait for that because that's going to come later. I'll see you in the next one.